Today I'm going to go through pulling a shot of espresso using this particular coffee. Over the next few weeks I'm going to be buying the top 10 coffees that come up in Amazon when you do a search for coffee beans, buying them, showing you how to grind them, how I pull a decent shot for me, and hopefully you can copy those settings and use the same settings on your own Barista Express so that you get a decent cup of espresso and it saves you time and saves you money. So I'm buying these coffees so you don't have to go through the process of trying to dial them in. Obviously you will have to do some mild dialing in, but generally you probably have to use the basic settings that I'm going to show you, copy those and then replicate it in your own home. If you find these videos useful, please subscribe to my channel, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments any tips or tricks that you use. Okay, so the beans have been ground. I've got it in the portafilter ready to go. A point I wanted to mention that people always mention on my videos is, does it matter that the fact I've got this on double or single? Well, this is only for the grind settings, and as I grind my beans per cup, I don't really care whether this is on double or single because I just adjust it accordingly and I press it manually. So if you wanted to have automatic settings for these double or single, you can set them on the machine, but it doesn't affect the actual size of the pull. Only these two buttons here affect the size of the shot that you're going to pull. So that's something to keep in mind. Hit the double shot. As you see, I've done it on the level 6 and we're going to hit the double shot and see what happens. So already you can see it's way too watery, hardly any pressure building up, and look how much coffee is coming out. So that's a great example of a under extracted shot. The pressure gauge hardly built up any pressure, and there's way too much volume of espresso that's been poured into there. Has got a bit of a crema on there, you can see, but let's just see what it tastes like. Oh, it tastes awful. Tastes really bad. Bitter. Yeah, bitter is the main thing. Bitter and acidic. I'm going to do this time. I'm going to change this to a 4 because it was massively under extracted. In fact, I might even go to a 3 because it was so far under extracted and there was no pressure at all. So that's what I'm going to do this time. Put it on a 3, get it all ground up, 18 grams of coffee as always, stick it back in the machine and let's see what happens next time. Okay, so my beans are ground. This time I'm actually going to use my timer on my little weighing scale here just to see how what time we're getting on these shots. So that last one was very quick. Obviously it ran through very fast and it was no good at all. We're after that 30 to 35 second pull, as I mentioned on one of my other videos, which I'll link to as well so you can follow that. So we're going to start the timer, press double shot and see what happens this time. Pre-infusion. Again, too fast for me, but so again, that was 30 seconds, bit too short to be fair, way too fast again. Even at a level 3, and you saw the pressure gauge didn't build up hardly any pressure, and we've got a very similar looking shot. Too much volume, way too much volume in there. So yeah, let's go again. This time I'm going to put this down to, let's try it even at a 1. I'm going to put it at a 1, which is one of the lowest settings, and let's see what we go from there. Okay, we're ready to go again. Another good 18 grams has been ground. It's been done on level 1, so it's on that fine. So this is a very fine grind at the moment. So hopefully we're going to see a better pull, as this has been really bad so far. Again, I'm going to start the stopwatch. We'll see what we get and then press the double shot button. Take it from there. Some slightly better pressure building up. Yeah, getting a much better range. It's looking better. So that was 23 seconds, which is too short again. Pressure built up, but not as good as I'd like it to get. And certainly there's way too much. It was a very fast shot. Too much content has come through. Again, that's not going to be a great shot for me. So we're going to have to go even finer. Now what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put it on the finest setting, which isn't going to go much lower, but what I am going to do is I'm actually going to increase the amount of coffee I'm grinding. So it was at 18 grams. I'm actually going to put it up to 18.5 grams just to give it a little bit more extra coffee in there, which will help obviously build up the pressure. Okay, so this is going to be my final attempt on this one. So I've got 18.5 grams of coffee now in the portafilter. We've got it on the finest. It won't go any further back than that. So let's press it and go. So that's much better. Get some good pressure there. A lot slower pull. So again, this is still slightly short. It's 28 seconds for me, which is I think too short of a pull time. The pressure did build up, but it didn't go as high as I'd like, and you saw that it was still pouring fairly quickly. Okay, so here's the shot that we actually pulled. Tastes so much better, a lot sweeter, hasn't got that bitter aftertaste and that acidic flavour that we had originally, so that's completely acceptable. So if you like a kind of mild coffee, this could be for you. And obviously you've seen that it's very difficult initially to dial in your espresso. You have to do it through trial and error, and obviously you can spend a lot of money on coffee and using up coffee to do that. Now I've done that for you today using that big bag of 1 kilogram coffee that cost about £10 off Amazon. And it isn't my type of coffee, it's not the sort of coffee I'd normally go for, but I did it so that you can see how you dial these different coffees in. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be buying the rest of the top 10 coffees and showing you the same process, and maybe you'll find a coffee that you like and that you can use. I actually used 18.5 grams, so sometimes you might have to increase your dosage if you're not getting that kind of finer enough grind and enough pressure building up in your machine to pull a good espresso. So I had it on the finer setting, I put 18.5 grams, and that got me that initial pull. So you might be able to go higher, maybe 19, and you might be able to get a slightly better pull, but then you're restricted between the size of the actual portafilter that you're using. So that particular portafilter will struggle with anything more than 18.5 to 19 grams. I think it will just overflow and you'll really struggle to use that. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel, comment below on anything you'd want to know about the machine or the coffee, etc. And I'll catch you on the next video.